Technology certainly fueling our economic engine, and the Bay Area is right in the heart of it. But tech companies are also at the center of a debate about workplace diversity and specifically women in leadership.
Many have issued a public call for tech companies to gather and publish data about how many women and minorities actually work for them and how many are in management roles. But numbers are just a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, for the past year, TechCrunch has been researching the issue, and just last week, in fact, it published an article about its comprehensive study on women entrepreneurs and the lack of female leadership they see in the venture capital firms they rely on to launch their businesses. And today in the 4x4, we're taking a closer look at the findings and the ongoing challenges women face in the tech sector.
And with us now is Janae Tier, Director of Content at Crunchbase, and also one of the authors of the series of articles published on TechCrunch. And also with us is Kate Mitchell, co-founder of Scale Venture Partners, a Bay Area venture capital firm. Janae, Kate, thank you both for being here with us.
Thank
you. Janae, if I could start with you with the need for a study like this. And I know the study set out to answer two main questions, one being to determine how many women are truly investing partners at leading venture firms. And let's talk about why it was important to answer that question and what you found.
So women investing leading partners are extremely important because they have power within the venture firms. They're seeing all the startup companies, they're putting those dollars to work, and they have carry within the firms. And those numbers we know to be low, but what we wanted to do is look at the Crunchbase data and say, what are those actual numbers? And so we looked at the top 100 firms, not only here in the US, 84 were in the US, but we also included global firms. And what we found is, if you looked at those top 100 firms, 7% of women were investing partners. So those numbers are low.
Wow.
Kate,
7%.
let's talk about some of the obstacles, especially for you, I mean, personally, and what you've seen also since you're in the business, but external and internal. I'm guessing the external is discrimination. Did you run across anything
well, no,
to get to where you are today?
No, I didn't, but I will say, you know, my whole career, and including the last 20 in venture capital, I'm playing a sport that men play. Like Steph Curry, I'm smaller and not as muscular as the other people on the field, so my job was to run as quickly as I could, catch the ball, be in the game, help the team win. So the issue was I wouldn't want to highlight the fact I was a woman.
Right.
That would not necessarily be a strength for success. So I was just focused to be a tomboy, if you will, a successful sports person on the court.
Today, I want to go back to the number. Why is that?
Why is it so low?
Yeah.
So what I think, these are small firms. There's a few investing partners. I think the average was 7. You work for a very long time together. If you raise a fund, you're going to be 10 years together. And I think for a lot of these firms, men are in the leadership, and they tend to go out and hire people like themselves, people they feel comfortable with, people in their networks, and so it's self-reproducing. What we are seeing is some of the smaller firms who are coming out, Aspect Ventures, Cowboys, are female-led. So I think some of the change in this industry is going to come from the newer firms who are coming out the gate, and it's women who are founding them or women joining those initial teams. A lot of the older firms are not making the shift fast enough.
Is there a trickle-down effect to women who are starting their own businesses, who are looking for that capital when it is a male-dominated industry? I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to start my own business and Kiva's going to start her own, who's going to get more money, and if I'm going to the same firm?
Exactly, and I think the other study that we ran is we looked at female founder numbers, and what we saw between 2009 and 2014 is that the numbers of female women who are founding companies went from something like 9% to 18% in a 6-year period. So those numbers jumped in terms of the number of women who are getting out there and founding companies, and I think that's why there's pressure on the venture industry
to make a change.
Exactly, because these women are saying, who is investing? We're meeting a lot of men. Where are the women? We're making change here on the company side. What's happening on the other side of the table?
Well, so one was about those numbers, right? How many women are actually doing it? Your second point was to explore the venture firms and which ones have the strongest track record, right, of supporting startups with at least one female co-founder.
Yes.
What did you find there?
So interestingly, the numbers there, it was all over the place. There were many firms which have largely male leadership who are investing in female founders. There were many firms who have strong female leadership
but
who
not
are investing.
Investors, right?
Yes, exactly. But I think, you know, the interesting part of the study for us was also when you looked at the top 100, what we found was 38 of those firms had a female partner, but 62 did not. And when you looked at the 38, Scale Ventures was one of them with 2 female partners. It was almost a third of their partnership. There were a few firms, most of the firms had one female partner, and what that means for me is it's very precarious within the venture industry. For those 28 firms with one female partner, if one woman were to leave, they'd be back down to an all-male investing team.
Kate, I want to get to you, and I want to talk to you about inspiring women, inspiring young girls to even get into technology, to get into venture capital. I mean, don't we need to start there so that then we have more people who are applying for these positions and hopefully getting them?
Well, and our feeding, ground for venture is entrepreneurship. So we want to start with technology and entrepreneurship. And I'll tell you, by the way, answer quickly to this reason why not enough dollars are going to, by the way, not just women, but even more so diverse founders. Is because our networks don't overlap. And it's all about networks and building networks so that you will get it, because there are more people who are probably overlapping with you in their existing social network. You can find it on LinkedIn, you can see it on Facebook, where people's social maps are. We need to bring those together. So that's, I think, the biggest thing. So what we're doing is, in fact, I'm leaving here to go have dinner with 8 women at Stanford University who were interested and reached out and wanted to, and so I'm going to talk to them about how you would think about, and they're MBA students, they've been at really hot startups. We're going to talk about how they can move forward. So it's more conversations and more openness. So that's really, I've now taken over an issue at the industry level. I'm chair of the national, I'm on the board of the National Venture Capital Association. I've been chairman. They've only asked one board member to return as a board member, and it was me to lead the issue around inclusion and diversity.
Wonderful.
Really wonderful, Mike, because it's led by people that look more like you than the rest of us. They're diverse in this
Well, I
panel.
was just going to say, now I kind of know what it feels like sitting at this table up there. But
Exactly.
just real quick before I let you go, do you get a sense that more men are speaking up on your behalf, on women and minorities?
They are, and in fact, I was asked to rejoin and to lead this effort by Scott Sandell of NEA, a leading large fund, and John Callahan of True Ventures, who is a next generation leader in the industry and the current chair of the NVCA himself. And they recruited me to come back on and insisted that they too would be on the task force because they wanted to make a difference. It's a lot.
So moving in the right direction, but still more work needs to be done.
And thank you for calling attention to it.
Thank you for joining us.
Kate Mitchell, Janae Tier, thank you both for all your work.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
ladies.
you.